And back and forth. We can jump through the wormhole anywhere we want to go. I actually don't believe in death. I believe in time travel.
Strong.
Interesting. Yeah.
So that's the jumping off point when you die?
Oh, yeah. When you die, it's just time travel. I actually believe that you died a number of times. You've just time traveled out of that moment. Like, I was in a car crossing through MacDill in Florida when I was we were kids. I was probably 21 and we were hammered. This girl was driving. She was younger and she spun out. The car spun.
Yeah.
Dodge a car spun.
Yeah.
And then righted itself and kept going straight. And I was that's fucking time travel.
Yeah.
I died that day and I time traveled out of that moment.
Boo, 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 boo. Opie Radio. Boo, 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 boo. Boom, 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 boom. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo.
Tearing down the house, and George, my oldest, is like, they're supposed to move out of the room, and she goes, "Can you just give me one more night with this room?"
Right.
And my wife's like, "No, we need to get out of it today. They're demoing it tomorrow." And in my head, I'm like, "It's our money. We're paying fucking."
Sure.
And I go, she goes, "You go talk to her," and I go into a room, and George is just like holding it together. I can tell when George is about to cry. She's holding it together, and she just goes, "This is my childhood. That sticker I put in the day we moved in, and they'll tear it down, and I'll never have that moment again."
Oh.
And she's like, "I don't want to grow up, Daddy." And then hugs me, and I'm just sitting on her bed, holding it in.
Yeah.
And then she just looks at me, and she goes, "You can cry, Daddy." And I'm fucking, like sobbing. My wife opens the door and is like, shuts it. Oh,
Word.
And it's you. You're a major guy.
Well, they're not really treating me that.
But you are. You are.
Let's just say I used to be, Artie.
Have a chair.
No,
I used to be.
You still are.
I used to be. I don't have a fucking chair.
I'll say it for you.
Okay.
I don't think you deserve a chair, but
I do have a good story. So I picked up my daughter from school a while back. At the time she's only like 3, okay, with her giant backpack and and all of a sudden she gets into this whole thing of Daddy, trees die, right? Yep. Cats die, right? Yep. And she's just listing everything that dies. And then she goes, "But people don't die, right, Daddy?" And I just start, bawling at that one.
yeah.
Just because of the innocence of that whole thing.
What'd you tell her?
Of course you say, yeah, people don't die.
You lie to them.
ruined the whole day at 3.
You lie to them and tell them they go to the hospital.
That's it.
as far as Ellen DeGeneres being like Richard Pryor because she dances. We used to hate her. The tapes are there. Pick up the fucking tapes. This is an illusion. Sometimes I think I'm in a fucking dream world. Sometimes I think I stabbed myself and died, and I woke up in a world where Howard Stern likes Ellen DeGeneres is dancing. I woke up in a world where the Yankees suck, the Mets are good, and Howard Stern loves Ellen DeGeneres.
Keep going. Come on.
Yeah, pushing the Rossi. Again, she's like she's had her face buried in that pussy for fucking 7 years. I'd be in a daze too. She's like a surrogate for her. And he has her on the show and kisses her ass. He said he looks forward to the dancing.
Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer?
What'd she do?
Yep. My sisters and Amy are all really good friends, and so when we'd go out of town, we'd call Amy and say, "Hey, our house is available if you want to take meetings or something." This is when she was just broke.
Right.
We had a hamster that needed shots, so we're gone for like a month. And we get back, and the hamster's in the cage, but there's a note on top of the cage just wrote, "Hamster's dead."
Oh, my God.
I think she gave it a shot and hit it in its spine and killed it.
She killed your hamster?
Hamster dead. That's all it says. The girls can't read. They're too young.
Oh, my God.
Hamster dead. So
where was the hamster?
It's just in the cage.
Oh, my God. She's a terrible person.
Yeah, she goes, "Hamster dead." So my daughters are almost like, they're like flippant.
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah, not a big deal."
Right.
And they're making jokes, and come on, we're burying a princess. And they're like, "It'll be fine. We'll see it again."
Right.
And Leanne's like, "No, the hamster died, girls." And they're like, "What does that mean?" And they're like, "Died, like, do you remember your fish? You remember how your fish died?" And they're like, No. Our fish is at the hospital with Grandma. And they're like, "Oh, Grandma's dead too." And they're like, "Grandma's dead? Hold on, what's dead?" And they're like, "You'll never see it again." And they're like, wait. Pop-Up is at the hospital with Grandma. And they're like, "Yeah, Pop-Up's dead too."
Oh, my God.
And in one moment,
piled it all on
everyone realized that that what death was. And I'm just sitting there going, fucking Schumer. She couldn't have just given this thing the shot the proper way.
Nobody can make that much of a pivot on how they feel about Ellen DeGeneres' dancing. I mean, we used to say what it is. This is horrible.
Yeah.
Housewives wouldn't laugh at this.
Yeah.
She's clearly like, she's duping the world.
Yeah.
And now he says he looks forward to it. Are you fucking kidding me?
Whose joke was it that I used to love? Because it might have been him or you that said, zoom in on her face. She looks just like Owen Wilson. There's an uncanny similarity. And that's from their show somewhere.
Look, sure, if it was me, I would have said Flip Wilson.
But like when you guys were talking about dead animals, I completely forgot that I did this. When I was like 8, maybe 9, and my cousin who lived downstairs, her rabbit died. Okay, so my aunt wrapped the rabbit up and told me, she was like, can you go put the rabbit in the garbage can outside? Don't let your cousin Elena see it. She's going to come, she's going to come home, and I don't want her, just do that. Do me a favor, put the rabbit in the garbage can. So I was like, okay. So I went to go put it in the garbage can. And then this is the thought I had. I was like, you know what though? This was my cousin Elena's rabbit. I feel like she should say goodbye to it. So, my Aunt Eileen. Oh no! This is what I did. This is seriously what I did. This is what I really did. My Aunt Eileen went out somewhere, so I kept the rabbit in the corner.
Yeah.
And then I put it under my cousin Elena's pillow. The dead rabbit racked up in 4 Stop and Shop bags. So she went to bed that night and tried to get comfortable, and the fucking dead rabbit was under her pillow.
Like the Godfather.
Yeah, and
she wakes up next and all the blood's all over her.
Yeah, she was like, what? They woke me up out of bed. They were like screaming at me. I was like, I was just trying to do something nice. And my mother's like, you put a dead animal underneath your cousin's pillow? And then I remember the next day, like her talking to my dad. My dad came to pick me up, and they were talking about how they think I need to go see a child psychologist. But I didn't.
She came out at the right time.
Yeah.
That show was terrible.
I said she doesn't even really want to dance either, but being a lesbian, she figured out this bit where she gets to rub up against the women every day. At work.
That's your angle.
That was my angle.
You're
Yes,
right.
of course it was.
That's a good point.
Because she's a stand-up comic, so there's no way in the end she actually likes dancing for people.
Megan Fox is on today.
Right.
We're going to make the dancing longer.
Right. So she's got... See, there she goes. All right, I like
this.
this.
A little gauntlet.
Pick up the documentary. Let's Spend the Night Together. The Rolling Stones, 1981. Bill Wyman plays the bass. All he does is look for pussy. That's all he does. What, we got Shattered?
Yeah.
He's not even playing sometimes. He's lighting a cigarette and just looking for fucking pussy. That's what she's doing. Like, hey, come on backstage. That's true. I never noticed that.
I had an iguana in college named Wilbury. After the Traveling Wilburys.
Nice.
I got it a freshman year. My first junior year, we're living in this house. We have dogs. And apparently, my buddy's dog got a hold of the iguana and killed it. My buddy Obi just put it back in the cage and didn't say anything. And so I come in and I feel like I've killed it. And I'm like fucking really upset. I'm like, God damn it, I've had this pet for like 4 years.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm not gonna bury it. I'm just gonna cremate it.
Cremated iguana at college?
I had no clue how hot you have to make it to cremate it. I just rolled it up in newspaper. Oh my God. Like a joint. Giant joint. And put it in the fireplace and lit it on fire. And I just sat there and I was like, there we go. And then all of a sudden, the paper just kind of goes away. And you see this figure iguana. Its lips had curled up. Its fingers had curled back. Its tail was real tight. And it's like fluids bubbling out of it. I'm just going, oh, this is bad. And so I tried to build a fire and it just won't burn. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I need to break it into smaller pieces. I fucking disfigured this animal that I loved so bad that I had to bury it. And then I'm like, why did I just bury it in the first place?
How did you break it into smaller pieces?
I just got a shovel. I'm like, I'll cut it up and then I'll pile. Like, I need to get the fluid out of it. I got to open it up. Oh my God! I just disfigured this animal so bad.
This is your beloved pet.
I had this thing from my freshman year on. I'd take it out and it would sit on my shoulder and
who could change that much?
Ice-T went from saying kill the cops to playing a cop on TV.
Well, how about, you know Mike Cannon, right? He's been on the show.
Oh, yeah, sure.
One time he said that he was having a party, right? And he was his parents were on vacation, so he had all these people come over, and they were, putting beer in the dog bowl, getting it high, whatever. Wakes up the next morning, dog is dead. Dog is completely dead, like family pet. So he's like, oh shit. He's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So his parents all of a sudden come home. They come home like early. He's like, what the fuck? He carries the dog outside, puts it up next to the tree, and backs the car up into the dog. to tell his dad to try to make it look like he accidentally killed the dog, and he backed up twice to do it twice. And listen to this: his dad was watching him back the car up into the dog the whole time from the window, and his dad comes around, he's like, "What the fuck are you doing to the dog?" And he was like, "I hit it with the car." He's like, "No, you didn't. I saw you lay the dead dog and run it over twice." And then he got sent to military school for a year. For a whole year, he got sent to military school. He backed up into the dog twice because he killed it with weed and beer the night before. Fucking lunatic, right?
So when he fell and became a quadriplegic, he fell off a roof. We had lawyers came around to sue people because if you fall off a ladder, you sue the ladder company. You get millions of dollars. So this lawyer comes around and he goes, "All right, we're going to sue the ladder company because you fell off a house that has no homeowner's insurance." So when he said that, I said to my dad, I said, "Should you tell him or me?" I went up to the lawyer. I said, "He stole the ladder." The guy said, "What?" He goes, I said, "The ladder says Bell Atlantic on it." My father was driving by a Sears warehouse, and he needed a new ladder. So he sees, he's a kleptomaniac from Newark, my father. He sees a ladder next to a Bell truck. He goes quietly, takes it like it's his ladder, and puts it on his van. And that was the ladder he fell off of. Right. He had to put that ladder on a picnic table because it wasn't tall enough. Yeah. So the lawyer hears that, and he goes, "Excuse me?" I said, he stole the ladder. He calmly put his notes back together and said, "I wish you guys luck."
That means you're a fan of the ST speech impediment.
What's that?
He's got a speech impediment?
What was the one song? World on a String?
I got the world on a string.
Shut up.
I'll find the song.
Oh, when you hear it, Bert, you'll never unhear it.
I've got the world on a string.
You'll never unhear that.
Oh, you should have taken a selfie with him. Hey, real quick, Buble, you mind if we take a selfie?
Are you from Barcelona?
Is that your polyester?
There's your boy, Chris.
That's my fucking boy.
He would ask me to kill him every day. And because he was in hell, and I said, "That are you thinking this through? What about me?"
Right. I got to live with this.
So you're in hell for whatever the fuck you did, and I'm in Trenton State. How does that help with the family?
I've got the world on a string.
That can't be real.
You can sing anything. How about you avoid saying string?
I got the world on a piece of rope. A little piece of yarn.
When I got processed, the first time I got arrested for coke in L.A., I was in L.A. County Jail. I was handcuffed next to a Mexican kid who was a Mexican gang member. His entire back had one tattoo on it. It covered his back of Speedy Gonzalez, the cartoon character. And it was great work. I said, "Where'd you get that done?" He goes, "I'll give you the number, man." He was stabbed in his ankle. And he had a hit out on him, supposedly. And I said, "I hope this guy's a good shot. I'm right next to you." This 20-year-old Mexican kid, Chicano kid, looks at me and goes, "You're on Mad TV." And I did a sketch where I play a black woman, and the catchphrase was, "Don't make me break my foot off in your head." He starts yelling it. "Don't make me break my foot off in your head."
Yeah. There was a study that came out said people could live to 115 today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's where did you find that?
No, I found it on my show prep stuff. So that's pretty good because I plan on the
Did you find
retiring
that on the
95.
website whogivesafuck.com?
No, I got into it when I was 17. Like, I had to get pried out of a car. I got destroyed in a car. I didn't get hurt actually, but my grandpa had died a year before, and he had this very specific smell. My grandpa, he just was one of those guys, but it was his smell. It was and we would talk about it constantly, but "Oh, that's Pop's smell. Yeah. Pops. We smell you coming." It was a joke amongst our family. And when I got into that accident, the firemen said, they were like, when we showed up to this, we fully expected you were dead inside this car. So they pull me out, and I swear, as soon as the car hit and the airbag deployed, that smell of my grandpa was everywhere. It was on my clothes.
Get the
it was
fuck out of
I swear it was on every.
I want one of these.
To the point of where my mom, of course, rushes to the scene. I didn't even go to the hospital.
Yeah.
But she said, "You smell just like Poppy. You smell just like Poppy." And I was like, "I know." I was like, "I think it's the airbag stuff."
Right.
And then as time went by, I was like, "That was him protecting me," because the fireman. Because you're in the moment, you don't even know. But the fireman said, "He's like, we thought we were guaranteed you were dead."
It turns out his grandfather just worked at an airbag department. He just made airbags.
That's what it was. Yeah.
The NBA's motto is stay in school. And I said, they're hypocrites. If the NBA went out to promote staying in school at the All-Star game instead of a slam dunk contest, you should hold a spelling bee for the players. It'd be more entertaining. I said, what would be more entertaining? A basketball player dunking again or Dennis Rodman trying to spell receipt?
Good joke.
Or Wednesday. And one of those tricky words.
One of those tricky words like Wednesday.
Separate.
Right, I saw the Oasis documentary there, Matt. Very good job, sir.
Thank you so much.
I didn't even realize there was a third brother until I saw Oasis Supersonic, which is out tomorrow. Because the third Gallagher brother is kind of like the third Manning brother.
Yeah, it's Cooper Manning.
Do you understand that reference?
He's a very cool guy. I wish we could have had him in the film more. He's
I'm sure he's a nice
smart.
guy.
I guess he knows them better than anyone else.
I wish I could have had him in the film more. How about you write a song as good as Champagne Supernova and he would have got more time in the movie?
He was too busy selling real estate while his brothers are fucking drowning in pussy and millionaires.
What do you mean you wish you could have had him in the movie more? Are you kidding me?
He has nothing to do. We as the fans want to hear about all his fucking times he went to the supermarket while his fucking brothers were getting blowjobs.
He must have hated Thanksgiving dinner. You got Liam and Noel Gallagher talking about playing in front of hundreds of thousands of people. And he's talking about a house.
Overrated, though.
A house he might have sold.
He's talking about his minivan.
Right. Sorry. We got a little excited there, Matt.
And he's fat.
That's quite all right.
Is that the brother in the middle?
Well, wouldn't you be fat if your two brothers were so famous? Of course you'd be fat.
He looks like Susan Boyle. Right. Do you think the third brother tries to stay friends with the both of them so maybe he can get written into their wills?
That's a great question.
Well, I would if I were him.
Yeah, does he? Hell yeah.
Good idea.
Does the brother that no one knows about in the entire world?
I can't believe you're saying this. I'm making a film about him as we speak. The financiers are going to get very nervous.
What is the movie going to be called? Paul Gallagher, No One Cares?
Oh, man. He might be listening to this.
No, Paul, if you're listening, we're just fucking around, man.
I could argue I was funnier on heroin. When I fell asleep, I was funnier.
Right.
My favorite thing I ever did on that show, I might have told you this, Kathy Griffin came in.
Yes.
Yeah. And said she was telling her mother that she won an Emmy and it was all sentimental, and you just hear me snoring. It's just so great.
Goes right out on just your head down drooling.
Oh, I know. She's going, and my mother always wanted me to win an Emmy, Howard. And I told her, Mom, I'm nominated for an Emmy.
It's like the best.
I've never done anything funnier than that.
That's great.
It's just the best.
Subtlety at its finest.
Pat brought in his sister's breast milk.
Okay.
And then we made homemade ice cream.
Ew. That's awesome.
A lovely vanilla flavor.
Ugh.
I take a big scoop and I put it in my mouth. And at first it's like, wow, this is really good. Then the gamey taste kicks in. At first, though, it tastes like any vanilla ice cream you would get at the supermarket. And then the aftertaste kicks in.
It's like rotting cantaloupe.
Is it rough. It's like rotting armpits.
Really?
How brutal is Kathy Griffin without makeup?
I saw her once, so let me tell you. I'd fuck either one of you guys.
I can second that.
You've seen her without makeup?
Yes.
At the Brooklyn Diner. Look how much she goes up with the makeup.
Yeah.
That's magic.
That is, of course that's magic. That's amazing.
She goes from David
The person that did the makeup should get the Emmy.
That's
I've been hanging out at a gay bar all weekend.
Why?
It's my favorite place.
Why?
It's called East of 8th.
Yeah.
It's right by Gotham.
Yeah.
And it's like a little quaint gay bar.
Why is it your favorite place?
Oh, it's just the best. It's like, they maybe like have 8 dudes and they're all like older, like 60-year-old queens.
Yeah.
Like just, like the real cool dudes. And then that's it. And then I just tell everyone from my show, go to East of 8th that we're going to go drink there. And we pack it out, which was meatheads. And they're like, this is, and then they play great music. And then you see like all my bro fans start dancing.
Right.
And the gay guys are doing shots with us.
Oh, so basically you found a cool bar that doesn't have a lot of people in it. And you figured out how to just take it over.
And I just decided to call it gay. Because like some of the dudes are gay.
It might not even be a gay bar. just fucked up this guy's business.
This guy's like, it's not a gay bar, man. We're a restaurant.
this guy has a good thing going. He just blew up his
Do they really have food there?
Stern, he came into Stern once. He said that him and Carmen Electra, she would put a strap on. And fuck him.
No.
And I said, Dennis, you're using that equipment wrong. Carmen Electra, he goes, strap on. And then he caught himself going, oh, no, I don't do that. I'm like, no, you do.
No, you already said it.
Puts a strap on.
Too late, right.
Who looks at Carmen Electra and goes, strap on?
Yeah, no.
Get a fake dick around you. Let's get a fake cock on you immediately.
That's what you're missing.
You are hot. Let's get a fake dick on you pronto.
What's going on, Ed?
His wife is hot.
He's banging.
Hey, man, I definitely like to give a look when the ladies are breastfeeding.
Yeah.
But I found out you shouldn't make comments. My buddy's wife pulled it out the other day at like a kid's party. And I really didn't mean to, but I was like, nice. And I just got stared at. It was awful.
Yeah, you can't say anything. You got to make believe you're not noticing.
I lost my virginity. It was a fucking nightmare.
What happened?
How'd you lose yours?
Oh,
Who was he?
it was. I wrote about it in my book, but I didn't put the condom on properly.
Yeah.
So the first time I put it on, like, I went and I just unrolled it all the way. I was like, that's too big. And so I rolled it up a little bit more. But then I went to slide it over like a sock. And it just inflated.
Oh,
yeah, because the air got pushed right in.
Yeah. So I kept trying to squeeze it out like I'm making balloon animals at the bottom of the fucking bed.
Right.
So then I throw it away, I get another one, I put it on, and literally not even fucking around. Real time, I'm on top of her. This is real time. 1, 2, and I'm done. I'm done. And it just caught me off guard. You're like, fuck, that was amazing. And then I realized, oh shit, she probably hasn't.
Did he go into make-believe mode?
I looked at her. She goes, are you going to put it in? I looked down. My dick is between her butt cheek and the bed. I didn't even fuck her. I just fucked the bed.
Oh my god! So you didn't officially lose your virginity.
And that's when I went into make believe mode. Let's start this up. Let's start this up.
Okay. A woman cop was in charge of putting me in a cell, and women cop generally don't like me. I need a male cop. You know.
Why?
Because they're Stern fans. You know, it's like you know how many times I've been pulled over since I've been on Howard? Like guys go, do you know you were doing 90 in a 35, Artie? Sometimes they have books in their car in case they pull me over. I have your book in my car. Like, you have the book, right? Like in case I pull you over.
Right. I knew it was going to pull you over eventually.
Yeah. And then I think I turned him off because I said the N-word in front of him. So.
Oh well, why would you do that?
Well, I was doing an impression. I was doing an impression.
Were you feeling it?
I was doing an impression of a black guy talking to me about him,
right?
And the black guy used the N-word, and I was drunk, and then I was like, man, this right here.
You did, yeah, right here.
It was you can see his face change, and he was like, God, this guy just drop an N-bomb in front of me?
Were you trying to take your relationship to the next level?
I wanted to be friends with him.
Oh, you blew it with the N-word.
Oh, I was like,
so many things are blown by the N-word. Things are going well, and then you throw that out there, and fuck.
Well, it's in context. Sometimes it's imperative, like because you can say that,
right, Lewis?
I agree.
We got one in the studio.
We caught one.
This is one of the worst things that's ever happened to me. Very disturbing. I had a cellmate, and he was a very large of Hispanic descent. I think a Puerto Rican gentleman, and he was about 300 pounds. There's one toilet, and it's right next to the bunks, you know. And I somehow fell asleep because I still had some heroin in me, and I fell asleep, thank God, because it was a living hell. I wake up about 4 a.m, and there's something resting on my forehead, and I thought it was like a tumor or something. I don't know what it was. I grab it. This guy is taking a shit, and his knee, while he's taking a shit, is resting on my forehead. I'm going to repeat that.
Is this really?
Yeah. Wait. The guy's knee, while he's taking a shit,
is resting on your forehead.
On my forehead. And he was very comfortable.
Right.
Like it had a red mark. It must have been an hour, maybe.
Yeah.
What do you do in a situation like that?
Reading a magazine. I say, excuse me.
Of course.
Here's what I do.
Keep your head stable. Keep your head stable.
300-pound Puerto Rican guy. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Your knee seems to be on my forehead while you're moving your bowel. And it stunk like I'm trying to describe.
Just the thought.
And then what happened was about 5 seconds into it, like he released he let it go. And I felt his knee jiggle on my forehead, and I didn't know how to diffuse the situation.
Yeah.
I didn't know, like, I didn't say anything for a long time.
Right.
I was frozen. And he was just, like, I think he saw my eyes. I was awake, and he didn't care.
Right.
You know, I just said, you through? Everything all right? I guess, are you done?
Wet nap.
What else can you do in that situation?
He looked at me and he said, oh, my bad.
All right.
I got you beat.
We don't have a kitchen table.
I got you beat.
We got 4 of us. Go ahead.
Okay. I got you. I got 4.
Yeah.
We're living in 2 rooms.
Yeah.
We have a porta potty in our front yard, which is now the homeless people's bathroom. Because at 3 a.m, there's a fucking line.
There's a line to use your porta potty.
I pulled up from the store one night, buzzed as fuck, and the Uber drops me off, and there's 2 dudes standing in my front yard.
Waiting to use your porta potty.
And I go, hey, what's this? And they're like, there's a fucking line. And I was like, no, this is my house. Everybody the fuck out. Like,
oh my God.
You can't use my porta potty.
Big fan of Opie, though. So I had to bring you a nice little bottle.
Jesus.
I heard you're about to tell a story about going off the wagon, though. So.
Yeah, don't do that.
What do you want me to do?
Do you have any blow?
Not here on me right now.
You have a phone? Put a bet in.
Yo, my guy, Opie, a little bottle of Macallan 12. I figured, are you allowed to have
I'll take
a sip here? Is that allowed to happen? I don't know.
Well, I don't know if I would do it in front of Artie.
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
going to do it in front of Artie. I just want to see what happens. This is a great social experiment.
You don't want to see what happens.
Cue up some sounds of a motorcycle crash.
Hey, I ride in trucks now, Vic, okay?
Jason, if I take a sip of that right now, by tomorrow morning at 9, I'll be running guns to Cuba.
I'll be with him.
I had a dream one time. One of my best friends was this Jewish chick, Stacy, and she explained a lot about Judaism that I didn't know. But anyway, the dream is, we're in an office, and it's like we're all in cubicles, and she just stands up. Her hair's all frizzied out, and she's like, "Is anybody going to temple? Is anybody going to temple?" Like real whiny. Anybody? Is anybody going to temple? And I literally run over to her, and as I get to her, she walks away from me, and she gets in a stairwell, still screaming at the top of her lungs, "Are you listening? Is anybody going to temple?" So I get her in the stairway, and I go, "Stacy!" And then all of a sudden, this dude in a white like button-down short sleeve shirt and khakis gets in between us, and he goes, "Whoa, wake up! You'll get it." And I wake up. And I'm like, what the fuck?
What is that?
I literally wake my wife up. I'm like, you're never going to believe the dream I just had. She's like, I don't want to hear your stupid fucking dream. So I call Stacy because she lives in Denver. She's awake. She just had a kid. And I was like, I'm going to tell her my dream. And as I call her, I hear my cat going,
oh, it's the cat.
My brain was hearing the cat and translating it into a Jewish person going, is anybody going to temple?
You're so fucked up.
This explains all the black dude dreams. It's just my dog. Real talk.
I was in rehab with Lawrence Taylor once, and he's talked about it, so it's public. It was those group therapies. Oh my God!
Wow.
He would talk, and I talk about. All I want to say was, why are we in the 4-3 defense against?
That's all you wanted to know.
What the fuck? I was $8,000.
We got at least 4 or 5 months left. I was making up timeouts yesterday just so I could get a break from the kids.
Have you ever,
bad?
Dude, I was in Aspen with my kids one time.
My son's like, what did I do wrong? I'm like, don't worry about it.
Oh, you were putting them in timeout?
We were tired, bro. We were tired.
Man.
He's looking at me. He's 6 now, so he's smart.
He knows.
He's finally smart. He's like, what the fuck did I do wrong? I'm like, don't worry about it. Mexican guys doing the place?
Yeah.
No.
What do you got?
We got Eastern Europeans.
Some dirty Russians.
Strong.
Some dirty fucking
Mexicans, man.
Mexicans better?
Oh.
Well, definitely where you live on over the west, so it's all, you got an opportunity to get a good team.
Just ranchero music playing and then just them talking and giggling. It just puts me to sleep, man. I can sleep so good to that. And they don't know what I do for a living. Like they don't see, like all they see is me. Basically, all they see is me doing a podcast. But they don't know I'm doing a podcast. They just see me walking dudes into this back room for an hour and then coming out giggling like that was fantastic. They're like, oh, maricón, huh?
People always say Mexicans are loud. You're the first person I heard say, bring some Mexicans so I can get some sleep.
Fucking love Mexicans.
Talk over my head, please.
My new favorite people of color.
Nice.
Mexicans?
Oh.
Wait, favorite?
Always love
Blacks are number
Mexicans.
2. Blacks are number 2.
Whoa, 2?
Well, you guys can be a bit much.
Well, maybe I give you that. If you can...